Good morning, everybody, and welcome to North Bennet Street School's 137th graduation ceremony. I'm Miguel Gómez-Ibáñez, the president of the school and a 1999 graduate of Cabinet and Furniture. I took this opportunity last night at Family and Friends, and I'll do it again today. You graduates are all wonderful, but I think it's very important to acknowledge all the people behind you that brought you here and that allowed you to come here. So I want to say congratulations to all the families and friends and loved ones of all of you graduates. Thank you. So that's all I'll say for now. With that, let me introduce to you Marc Margulies, the chair of the North Bennet Street School Board of Directors.
Good morning. I would like to introduce our Alumni Association President, Michael Wilson, to present the Distinguished Alumni Award. Michael is an advanced piano technology graduate of 2012, and since graduation, he has worked as a piano technician for local firms in Boston and started his own business in 2016. Michael also served as project manager for Play Me I'm Yours, an interactive art and music installation in Boston. He's been actively involved in the Alumni Association since his graduation and became president of the association last fall. He enjoys teaching and working with current students at North Bennet Street School and is a connective source to the school community. Michael.
Hello, congratulations y'all. I just wanted to say that, and it doesn't really get easier from here, but it is worth it, trust me. And sorry I didn't dress up this year, I didn't want to look better than Miguel again. The Distinguished Alumni Award is given annually to an alumnus who is nominated by their peers and voted upon by the Alumni Association. The decision is based on a nominee's professional accomplishments, their contributions to the craft, and/or their work with schools and organizations to promote excellence in craft. This year I've had the privilege of presenting the award to Will Neptune, who graduated in 1981 from cabinet and furniture making, and also served as a full-time instructor in the cabinet and furniture program from 1985 to 2000. Will is currently a furniture maker and renowned master carver working in the Boston area. During his 15 years teaching at NBSS, he was well known for his passion, his energy, ability to solve complex woodworking problems no matter their size and scope. When talking to former students about Will, they continue to mention his wealth of knowledge, generosity, insight, intuition, and innovation. Much of the current CF curriculum is based on the fundamental skill-building exercises that Will created when he was a teacher here. Will was a 2013 winner of the prestigious Cartouche Award, an award given for the excellence in period furniture making. Will has also been a frequent contributor to Fine Woodworking, an instructor at Connecticut Valley School of Woodworking, and a presenter for Woodworking in America. That's a lot of woodworking. Most importantly, Will is responsible for providing mentorship to and launching the careers of dozens of masterful makers. We're proud to claim him as our own North Bennet School's alumnus. I'm happy to present this award to Will. It's a Distinguished Alumni Award of 2018.
I'd ask you to imagine, just imagine, a dystopian future where everything is manufactured, everything is built in factories by robots. You want to read a book, you have to pull out your Kindle. Any music that you want to listen to is synthesized on a computer, no human beings involved. Your furniture is all bolted together with bits and pieces of particle board bought in a big box store. Your jewelry, the only jewelry you have talks to you. Your house is built out of modular pieces, and there's no such thing as a key to get you into your home. It's just facial recognition. Everything is digital. It's the same. Wouldn't the world be a poorer place if that were to occur? Absolutely it would. And you, the graduates of North Bennet Street School, you have the skills and talent and the responsibility even to prevent that from happening. You are the preservers of individuality. You understand the pride of creation. When you look back on how you came to get those skills and you think about the light streaming in through those big windows into your studios and the smell of fresh cut wood, the quiet sound of scraping on the body of a violin, or the whir of well-tuned machinery, or even the laughter of friends and mentors, I hope you will think fondly of North Bennet Street School and of the man who brought us this great environment in which to learn. 12 years ago, Miguel Gómez-Ibáñez started his role as president of North Bennet Street, and he brought with him his background as a carpenter from when he enlisted in the Navy Seabees, from which he went on to practice architecture for 16 years, specializing in historic renovation. And in 1996, he enrolled in North Bennet Street, graduated, and went on to teach furniture and cabinet making. When he started here, he brought with him his vision for the presidency that included a new building to bring all of the disciplines together and to create a community of craftspeople. It was going to be a place for education, where careers would be developed, where hobbies would evolve, and it would be filled with the love of creating things by hand. He brought with him that hands-on approach to doing the building that he uses for his own furniture making. Claire Fruitman, our provost, talked about seeing just Miguel's feet pointing out of the hole where he had crawled into the basement in a dark, dank, musty place to be able to see what was happening with the pipes and the underbelly of the school to try to understand how to make it all come to reality. But you can imagine him, before construction had started, walking around a quiet building and thinking about the future where he would be able to hear a jeweler's hammer tapping on a piece of jewelry being created, or a piano being tuned up on the upper floors, or the plucking of a violin string, or the smell of PB&J lunches. What a wonderful success story this is, Miguel. As you all know, at the end of this year, Miguel is going to be retiring from North Bennet Street. He'll have more time for his woodworking, but he will take with him a tremendous sense of accomplishment, having left the school in really, really great shape. You will have the sense of pride of seeing all of you here today, knowing that your futures are so bright, and knowing that because of you, that fear of the dystopian future that I described at the beginning, we don't have to worry about. Today we celebrate all of you who are graduating in this class of 2018, but it is time for us also to say thank you to Miguel. So ladies and gentlemen, our 2018 Commencement Speaker and the President of North Bennet Street School, Miguel Gómez-Ibáñez.
Don't do that after I speak. I'm going to feel terrible. Thanks, Mark. And thanks, Michael, for all your kind words. I'm not as stupid as you might think. I know that the first thing you do when you have to talk to people like this is start with a joke. So I called one of our board members, Nick Offerman, and I said, Nick, I need a joke. I'm way too serious for this. And Nick said, I'll get right back to you. So that didn't happen. And I was telling that story to Charlie Klein, another of our board members, and I said, I don't have a joke. He said, that's okay. You can relax, just take an Ambien. Yeah, that was it. All right. And that was, okay, never mind. I've been very proud to be the president of this school for the past 12 years. But this will be my last graduation day in that role. I'd like to share with you some thoughts I've had of things I've learned since I got here. First as a student, wait a minute, I can't see that. I can't see. I'm sitting here. Okay, here we go. First as a student 22 years ago and later as president. First, I've had the privilege to come to know all of you, and not just this graduating class, a dozen graduating classes. I started as president knowing only the cabinet and furniture program, and over the years I've come to appreciate what a diverse community we have here, and you and I have been a privilege to be a part of. In the process, I've noticed that each program has its own personality and contributes in its own way to an extraordinary mix that makes us such a great school. The locksmiths are where are you? The locksmiths are problem solvers. You love puzzles. You have a sense of purpose because you provide security. Your work is needed. The rest of us wish we were as needed. Jewelers are focused and exacting, working on a scale that requires magnification. You work with expensive materials, and often at the edge of disaster. I know it's stressful, I've seen it, and I think yours is the most intense program we have. You, perhaps more than the rest of us, have had to learn patience. Carpenters are high energy, action-oriented. You're the gregarious, you're the team players, and you're the only ones who leave here with the confidence that you can put a roof over your head. Cabinet and furniture students, on the other hand, prefer to work alone. You're more artsy than most of us, but meticulous in your attention to detail, spending vast amounts of time on interior details that no one will see, because it's the right thing to do. As for piano technicians, no one will ever see your work either, but they'll hear it. You are the kind and caring people here. You work behind the scenes. You work hard to make it possible for someone else to look good. Preservation carpenters, and I should be looking at you, but I have no idea where anybody is. Preservation carpenters are our historians, our academics. You love research and investigation and documentation. You're more laid back than many of us, but just as serious. You look out for our future by taking care of our past. Bookbinders are academics as well, also concerned with our cultural history, but I think a little more cerebral. The world that engages you is the world of printing and the printed word. That must be the reason that you seem to have more tattoos than the rest of us. You're a quirky group and proud of it. Violin makers are perfectionists. You're probably the most confident of all of us. I think of you as the school's badasses because you seem to need to challenge authority. You don't want to accept the constraints that other people live by, but you're willing to impose upon yourselves the most exacting standards possible. So each program is unique, and we add up to an inspiring whole. But there's a lot you have in common. For one thing, you didn't come here to try something out. You came here because you knew what you wanted to do, and you were willing to do what it takes to make it happen. You've all worked hard to get here. I, on the other hand, am here by accident. I had never heard of North Bennet Street School when I came across an exhibition of student work at the Boston Architectural Center on Newbury Street in 1996. It was the 1996 version of the student and alumni show that we just had at International Place. It's now in the Wingate Gallery. At the time, I didn't know the school had been in Boston for 125 years. I knew precious little about woodworking, although I thought I did at the time. But I was sure that I wanted to be able to make the stuff that I saw in that exhibit. I wanted to be that skilled. It was the competence in the work that I saw of students like you that inspired me to leave a career that I had imagined for myself and enroll in cabinet and furniture. I remember a feeling of real freedom in the orientation session that first day of school. I felt like I'd just been given a get-out-of-jail-free card. I took the commuter rails to school every morning. And in time, the train ride felt like a commute to a monastic community whose values were in many ways in opposition to society. I still feel that way when I go to work. As a student, I spent each day focused on the present moment, not the past or the future, as I'd been trained to do. And I found that time passed without notice. I'm sure you know what I mean. The longer I worked in a task, the longer I felt I could work. And I experienced a growing sense of confidence in myself. Not smugness, because the more I learned, the more I saw how much I could learn, or should learn, but a growing sense of understanding between the connection between my mind and the rest of me. The lessons I was learning were unlike those I had learned as an architect. They felt deeper and more personal. They were gained by experience rather than by thought. And for the first time in my life, I went home each day with a sense of accomplishment. And I hope you felt that way too in your time here. I learned 2 lessons in my time that have a great deal of meaning for me. They seem to me to be the essential lessons of North Bennet Street School. The lessons that Pauline Agassiz Shaw, our founder, had in mind when she said her aim was to train the whole person, not how to make a living, but how to live. First, I learned that there's both good work and bad work, and if you have the skills, it's up to you to decide whether you want to do the former or the latter. A joint either fits or it doesn't. A lock either works or it doesn't. The letters on a stamped title either align or they don't. It's not ambiguous. The result of your work is there for everyone to see or hear, and it's impossible to shift the blame for bad work onto someone else. That reality instilled in me, and I think in all of us, a sense of honesty. It's the lesson that Matthew Crawford described so clearly in his book, Shop Class as Soulcraft, and in his graduation address here in 2009. As he said, our work forms us, and good work is the basis for a good life. That lesson means more and more to me every day. In this age of fake news where even basic reality is not agreed upon, and the value of truth itself seems to be in doubt, when people can make false statements and take no responsibility. Here at North Bennet Street School, we live in a world where you can see the difference between good work and bad work, where standards, our values, don't change with the circumstances. Here, reality is plain to see, and responsibility is unambiguous. The second lesson I learned is that mistakes can be good things. They're how you grow. I think you learn more from making a mistake than you do from getting something right the first time. I made plenty of mistakes when I was here as a student, and I continue to make plenty of mistakes. I cut the wrong line, ruin whatever I'm working on. I have to glue 2 pieces of wood together so that nobody will notice the joint, or root around on the floor to find a replacement piece of wood with grain that matches so nobody will know that I made a repair. For me, learning the value of my mistakes was important. I could make a mistake, and rather than assess blame or get consumed by self-criticism, I was taught to figure out what went wrong and go about repairing it with the confidence that I could make it right. You're about to go out into the alleged real world. You'll take with you the skills you've learned here in your particular trade and set out to make a life for yourselves that you had hoped for, you had imagined. But I hope you'll also remember the larger lessons and apply them to your personal life as well as your professional life. Because some of you may not stay long at the bench. You may start your own company and spend your time behind a desk as I've spent the last 12 years. What kept me grounded during my time here as president is the connection that I maintained with my own shop with furniture making. The time I spend at the bench making things has been essential in keeping me in touch with the values I learned here. And I hope you keep in touch with them as well. You graduate today with the skills to make a living, but the challenge is to lead a life in which you don't stop knowing good work from bad. And you approach your mistakes, maybe not joyfully, but with a sense of humor and with confidence. And I hope for you that you leave work each day with a sense of accomplishment. Those are the larger lessons of not how to make a living, but how to live. that I have come to see North Bennet Street School has been teaching for 137 years. It's clearly what the world needs more of. It's clear the world needs more of you. So go forth and multiply. Thank you.
The first time I attended a North Bennet Street School graduation was when I was a cabinet and furniture making student. Walter McDonald, my predecessor, who I believe is right over there, was in this spot announcing the names. And when he finished, he had some words of wisdom and encouragement, which I found so inspiring, I came back for every graduation since. Long before I ever taught here, even when I didn't know anyone who was graduating. I sort of thought of it as my annual pep talk. So I'd like to share those same words with you today, and I hope that you find them as inspiring as I still do. We may be almost finished here, but it's far from over. There's a lot more to do. There will be mistakes from which you will learn. There will be customers you hope never to see again. New methods, equipment, and materials will change the way you work. You will get better and faster. If you don't get it right, you have a chance to do it better the next time. There will be wonderful customers for whom you will do work over your entire career, and they will recommend you to their friends, and they will become your friends because of your work. There will be a time when you finish a job, look at it and realize that a short time ago you could not have done it and would not have even known where to start. And you will realize how far you've come. So in closing, may your tools stay sharp. May your work be scheduled a year in advance. May your customers always be satisfied and pay in a timely manner and without argument. You have skills and knowledge that few people share. You can use these skills to make life better for others, and you can be justifiably proud of jobs well done. So now we're finished, and it's time for you to go out there and do great work. Congratulations.